I went back up and looked to when we first started chatting just before this conversation.
Yeah.
And I think I had started the conversation off by saying that I did this other podcast thing, but you didn't even know that I had a podcast.
No.
And you said, one day in the future when I get more success, I'll come on your podcast.
Yeah.
Do you remember saying that?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think you meant? And I sort of know, but I want to hear you say, what was the thought process behind you saying it? And why did you think you needed more success to actually come on a podcast?
I'm really, really hard on myself. Like in terms of my mindset now compared to 5 months ago when we spoke, was it 5 months ago or 6 months ago when we probably spoke, is very different. And it was like when I was saying to you the other day on the phone when I was like, you know, when my friend and I, we always talk about how there's like, where are the podcasts for the people who are trying to make it, who are in the middle of making it and not at that, like, you know, making 100K months and whatever it is and being a multimillionaire. But me now compared to 2 years ago, I am so successful compared to what I was 2 years ago. But it's like every single day, my goals, my ambitions, my where I want to be is not where I am now. So I just keep I keep making my goals grow bigger and bigger and bigger without even like realizing. But if you actually sit back and I look at myself like a year ago, I'm like, oh shit, like I've actually done so well. But I don't think that every single day. I'm actually so hard on myself. I'm like, I'm like nowhere where I want to be. Like I haven't moved out yet, or like I haven't made like consistent 10K months or whatever it is. Like, but I'm actually doing so much better than what I was a few months ago. But when I spoke to you, I don't really think I had that mindset.
What's changed?
6 months ago. Probably that conversation.
No. What's changed? Yeah, since in that time.
I feed off other people's reassurance a lot. Like when other people say, you're doing so well, like good job, like it looks amazing. And I'm like, thank you. But no, like I just don't think that. Like when I come back to myself, I'm like, oh no, but I'm not where I want to be. I guess that's just what I was just saying, but there's always room for growth.
But what I meant was, what's changed between you 5 months ago and now?
I don't know.
Really?
I probably do if I thought about it.
I remember you said in a post that just thought, I remember saying the 22-year-old version of me would have thought the version that I am now is at the top. So for you to say that and for you to still want more, do you think there'll ever be a level of contentment?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, not with the current mindset, no.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Is that good?
No.
Why?
No, because we need to learn to be more present. We are not present people. I want to be more of a present person. That's like a really big goal of mine, is to actually just be like so at peace with where I am now and just sink my feet into the ground and actually soak it all in and be like, wow, I'm so grateful for everything that I have. And I am so grateful for everything that I have. But in my day-to-day life, in every single hour of my days, I'm always chasing the next thing, always chasing. But if I actually just sat back like right now, like I'm on a fucking podcast. Are you for real? I would never have thought that 6 months ago when I said to you, oh, no, I'm not going to, like, I'll be on one day when I'm super successful. But I don't know, like I feel like I've achieved a lot since I last said that, in terms of not only with my career, my business, but also just like me as a person. Like I've been doing a lot of self-development stuff slowly. I wanted to do a lot more.
Why slowly? Is it eye-opening or?
Yeah, I let my career goals and my job and my work overtake the time for me. And that's something that I'm really learning to do. And I think that is what a lot of people who are in that hustle culture really struggle to do. Like I've always been in that hustle, go, you know, work. But you run yourself down and I started to understand that if I don't take care of me, my temple, how am I going to show up for all the things that I want to do, which is like my business is a huge, huge, huge drive for me and those sorts of goals. So that's where I turned back and was like, nah, my health is everything to me. And I dived deep into my health a couple years back, but I would say I'd been on a really long health journey for like 10 years. Like I think ever since I was in high school, I started really understanding, oh, okay, I'm going to start doing things more naturally and more holistically and surrounding myself with those sorts of things. And then the past few months especially, or the past couple of years to be honest, I realized that making those even deeper changes into my health have changed the way that I'm able to show up for my day-to-day life, which is like, that is, what's that? That's like success in itself. You're like, oh shit. Like if I got that 9 hours of sleep and I was able to conquer my day like a champion. But when I was hustling and I was working, you know, I don't know, 6 a.m. till like 9 p.m. straight, half an hour break in between maybe. And I got like another five hours sleep that night, barely. It takes you 3 hours to get into your actual deep sleep, right? So it's just little things like that, like actually making sure that you're putting time into yourself and actually settling in. And it's funny that I talk like this because I don't do it all the time.
I think what me and Alex spoke about before was, and that's your good friend, there are seasons to it though.
So many seasons.
There's so many seasons. And I'm in the season that I've just taken the dive. So I'm able to do these massive days because I've been wanting to do it for years.
Yeah.
But I get to like 11 p.m. and I want to keep going. But I know that that's sort of the cutoff. And like I said, we've established a cutoff. But there are times when I'm like, oh, I don't really want to stop this because I love it. What's your advice to someone like that probably doesn't know, or they don't understand perhaps the balance between looking after themselves and just going all in or working nonstop?
It brings back to what I said before about once you actually put in the work into your inner health and your personal development, you start to see the repercussions, like the good repercussions. Repercussions of work, of what that actually puts into your work, into your goals. So if you actually like fueled your body correctly, then you're able to put more energy and more power into chasing your goals and chasing your work and your dreams and whatever you're putting your heart and soul into. And if you're not doing that, if you're not, you know, doing consistent sleep, if you're eating shit food all the time, if you got brain fog all the time and your gut hurts and you're stressed and blah, blah, you're not able to show up for yourself. So that should be like the drive in itself. It's like when people say, this is one of my most hated comments, is when people are like, how do you stay so consistent for the gym? And I'm like, but if I don't show up for the gym, if I don't show up for my sessions on a weekly basis, daily basis, whatever it is, then I'm not going to get the body that I want, that you all see. You all see the end result, but you don't see all the blood, sweat, tears that I put into getting there.
That's indirectly what I just said to you before about the potties.
Yeah.
You got to post every week.
I got to post every week.
Sorry, I cut you off then. But yeah, it's exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
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 I think so. I heard someone say, I'll get to the point where people will say you're lucky.
I had a feeling this would come up in conversation.
Really? Okay.
Because that is one of my other most hated comments.
Yeah.
Is that, and I've received it a few times from girls, and this isn't me being like, oh, there's, you know, anything special about me or anything like that. But people have said to me like, you're so lucky, like you're so lucky to have that body, or you're so lucky to, you know, whatever it is that they're talking about. I'm like, I'm not lucky. I worked for this. Like things don't just show up to your doorstep. And I'm a very big believer in like whatever is meant for you will come to you. But what in my opinion, whatever the universe, God, or whatever your belief is in, it's going to hand it to you, right? But it's not going to be like, here, take it. It's going to basically blindfold you. It's going to blindfold you and it's going to put it in front of your nose. Whether you actually do the work and to figure out how to take that blindfold off and cut out everything around you to actually see that, oh my God, this is for you. But how are you meant to get that if you don't work to take that blindfold off? So it's like when people say that you're so lucky, I'm like, I'm not lucky. I actually worked for that. That's some hard stuff.
I remember you said, I asked you why you were so passionate about that message when we first started speaking. I don't know if you can remember that. And you said, because I'm just so passionate about creating a life around passion and purpose, but not just an average life, one where we find true happiness from your core. Financial freedom and health is at an all-time high. This is exactly what you said. You're not going to be able to have all those things working a day-to-day job that doesn't fill your soul. We spend so much time. This is crazy to think that this was like in the first, 5 minutes of talking to each other. We spent so much time of our life working, as it is such a detriment to our lives and well-being as a whole. We spend so much time of our life working. Everyone has a choice at the end of the day. So why would we choose lifestyle over our dreams? We are literally the creators. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I love talking about this stuff to help others also pursue their dreams and make them realize they're full. Making that initial decision is literally to change your life to literally change your life is so hard and scary, but it's the best thing that ever someone can ever do. And I think that's what you meant before. It's like, I think at that time I was like starting to have second guesses around where I wanted to take my platform. And I think you asked, do you want to take it full time one time? And I still wasn't sure, but that was your response to that. And it left an impact on me enough for me to say, oh, I've got to go up and look at this before we started speaking.
Yeah, that's like me to a core. Like, but I've always been like that. Like, even through everything that I've been through, that has always been my core. Like from high school, from primary school, I'd say, to now. Like, I was always chasing things that just brought me true happiness. And I never, ever, ever thought, I'm going to have a particular job. I'm not going to say we'll have a particular job, but a job that doesn't bring me any happiness. Like, I'm not just going to have a job just to go there 9 to 5, rock up, get my paycheck, and then I'm able to do whatever it is with that paycheck to fulfill my life. And I get that people do that and they're able to, do that job and get that income and then put that towards building their dreams. But you spend so much time of your life at work that wouldn't you want to actually be enjoying what you're doing in those moments? No, I don't enjoy everything that I do with my job. Like, I still have all the boring tasks that I don't enjoy doing at all. One day I'll have someone else do that stuff, but I love what I do. And it actually brings me so much peace and so much content around all the chaos and all the stress and everything, but it's so worth it. And I just think that, like, if you're able to create so much happiness in your life, if you have the opportunity to do that, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Like, stress and negative energy and negative thoughts and plays such a big part in someone's life. Like, I get, like, everyone's like, oh, I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy. Okay, then do it. Make the change. Oh, but I can't. You can. You can. Don't give me that you can't. And I'm not saying this now because I've always had this mindset. No, absolutely not. I used to play victim all the time. But I fell out of that. I completely fell out of that victim mindset. And I think a lot of people, just straight up, I think a lot of people just sink into that victim mindset. And it's one of the worst things that you can do with yourself. Just playing the blame game. But if you actually realize that you have full control, apart from whatever, God or the universe or whoever has in plan for you. Because I believe that we all already have our journey set out. Our journey's already set out, but it's what we do with those decisions and challenges in our every single day life is what's going to impact the overall outcome. You have a
I
choice.
say it's already happened.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, everything I've set out for, it's already happened.
Yeah.
And everything in my life is set out for that to happen.
Yes, correct.
So why would you act like it hasn't?
Yeah.
But sometimes that's the question I wanted to ask. You went into the blame game and what you used to think. What do you think the little Nicole in primary school would think about the woman that sits in front of me today?
Oh, I think she's really cool. I was literally saying this. We had this conversation this morning with my mom. She was like, I said something about like my first best friend in primary school, and I was like to my mom, I really wanted her to think that I was cool. Like I really wanted her to like me. Like I don't know why I had this fantasy about her. And mum was like, why are you so, like why do you think that you liked her so much? I was like, I just think that she was cool. And she just asked me and she goes, do you think that your younger self will think that you're cool? I'd be like, yeah, fucking oath. I actually do think I'm really cool. Because like I'm just doing everything, like everything I do is just from my core. Like it's actually from such a pure place, but I've always been like that.
What were you like in primary school?
Cool.
Cool? Still cool?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was like, I didn't have a lot of girl mates. I had a lot of guy mates. Like I was always playing like sport with the boys or like soccer with the boys, and then the girls would get jealous. But I was never like with the boys because I was like, like, you know, I was like, kick me that ball, like give me that. I was always likable, to be honest. I never really had any issues with like making friends or anything like that. I was never really a loner until later in high school.
What happened then?
That's a big one.
You comfortable sharing it or?
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know where to start. Oh God, I don't know where to start.
We said, so what happened between, you said not until later in high school. What happened between that phase before you potentially go into what you're going to talk about?
Honestly, just one thing happened and that changed everything. Everything. I had a best friend of 8 years. So from about grade 3 or grade 4 till year 9, we were like this. Sisters. Skyping every day. We lived down the road from each other.
That still exists?
Skyping.
Does that still exist?
We would pick up our home phones and call each other. Every single spare time that we got together, like we were with each other. Our families were together all the time. And I don't really know what exactly happened or shifted or changed from her side. But there were a couple of things that happened in high school that I was bullied by her. And it's hard for me to say, and I don't like saying that because I never wanted to believe it.
Why don't you like it?
Because I was like, I think that word gets thrown around a lot. I think bullying gets thrown around a lot. But I was told by my school counselor when I was sitting with her, I didn't want to sit with her. I didn't want to see the school counselor. I was forced to see the school counselor because the teachers and the coordinators could see, okay, Nicole's, something's up with Nicole. What's going on? And the school counselor turned to me and she goes, Nicole, you're being bullied. And I think I looked at her and I was like, I reckon my face would have just gone white, stunned. Like, what do you mean I'm being bullied? I've always been a likable kid. I've always had so many friends. I've always been the bouncy, playful, person in class, and I'm being bullied. How? But yeah,
What did it feel like to hear that?
My heart sunk, I think. I didn't believe it. But once it sort of sunk, like in that moment, it made so much sense. And I think I actually felt a sense of like I understood what was going on with me, because I got to a point where I completely changed as a person. Completely. I remember like I couldn't even look at people in the eyes anymore. And at the time I got my first job, my first ever job was at Kmart. And you would either like the checkout chick, or you were putting clothes away, or you were standing at the door and you had to scan people out or welcome people. And I had already started working there before this stuff started happening. But once this bullying started happening, I actually noticed a shift in myself that I would stand there at the door like this. Hi, welcome to Kmart. Welcome. I couldn't look at people in the eyes anymore.
Why? Why do you think that was?
I don't know.
It's a shame?
Yeah, I think so. Probably a sense of shame. I think I was...
About who you were?
No, because I think I was always pretty sure about who I was. I think I was scared of breaking down, because I'm such a connected person. Like I'm such a deeply connected person with people that if someone were to ask me how I am, I'd probably break. So anytime that any of my friends would be like, "Hey Nicole, how are you?" Or "How you going, Nicole?" I'd be like, "Yeah, good," and just walk away. I couldn't face it. I still remember this one girl, this one afternoon in high school. I think she turned to me and she goes, "Are you okay?" And that was the end. That was when I opened up. So I was getting bullied for about 3 years, and it wasn't like direct bullying. It was like inadvertent. So it was like writing things on the whiteboard, or putting things on Kahoot, or Kahoot on social media, commenting social media things. It was never like directly at me. So that's why I didn't believe that I was getting bullied. But
what were they just like?
They were like comments.
Okay.
Or like even in school, like in class, I would, where the teacher would be like, "Nicole, what's the answer?" in front of the whole class. I'd say the answer, and then they would mimic what I would said, but like very quietly.
Yeah.
Or at the time I was starting to get into modeling, like as a young kid, like modeling, acting, that sort of thing. And I had a modeling account. No one in the world knew what my modeling account was, because at the time we were like 15. So social media wasn't a huge thing back then. It was like we was just starting to get into Instagram. But I had a modeling account. It was called Nicole_S. That's what it was. And on Kahoot, do you remember Kahoot?
No.
Kahoot is like when it was like a quiz that your teacher would set up, and you would all put in your username,
okay.
and then the usernames would pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
And my username came up. And my heart sunk, because we weren't talking at this time, me and my friend. We were like barely talking. It was very, very distant. I had no idea what was happening. So it was like little things that were just adding up. And it was just all the little things.
How do you think it affected you the most? Sounds like confidence was a big
thing. I got sad. I became a really sad person.
What would I have seen? What would Fly on the Wall seen when you were like at the worst?
Constantly bawling my eyes.
Yeah. On your own?
I wouldn't get out of bed. Yeah, on my own a lot. My family knew what was going on the whole time.
Okay.
The whole time. Because my attendance in school ended up going down to, I don't know, like 20-something%. It was really hard for me to get to school. Really, really hard. This girl hurt me really bad. Like, really bad to my core. And she only was like, what I was saying before was that the bullying only lasted for about like 3 months. it wasn't a long time. Well, I don't think that's a long time. Maybe I'm just like a tough person. I'm just like, that's not a long time. But that wasn't really a long time. But what was actually happening was hurt me really, really deeply. Really deeply. And that, like, all of that completely shifted me as a person for a really long time. And I remember it took me 10 months to like start being okay again because I spoke to her after 10 months. So
does it still affect you today, do you think?
No.
Okay.
Nah. Like a few years ago when I would talk about this, I would be trembling. I'd probably be crying. Like my heart would be pumping. I'm cool. I'm cool because I think I'm growing to a person where the worst times of my life, the hardest times, I am truly, truly so beyond grateful for. If those times didn't happen, I would not be the person I am today. I know that's so cliche to say, but it is so, so, so true. So true. Like, if you don't have these challenges, I don't really think that you can be that much of a deep person if you don't go through hardcore challenges.
How bad did it get at your loss?
I never got suicidal. I think I've always been a very, very strong-minded person. But it was like just the next the next one above that. It was really bad. Like just when I tell you my heart hurt, I ended up distancing myself from everyone in the school. Everyone. No one knew what was happening until that girl asked me, Nicole, are you okay? And I broke down and I told her what was happening. And then we were in the same friendship group as that girl. So the word got around. Everyone started telling each other what was going on. This girl that was doing it to me lost all of her friends, apart from like a couple that I wasn't really friends with. And so through those months, even though the bullying stopped, so when she like lost all of her friends, that's when it all stopped. But even though it all stopped, the repercussions were still flowing on through the months. So it was still another like solid 7 months of me being in a real deep depressive state.
When did that change?
After summer. So this started happening in, I think, June of like 2015. That summer was the first summer without my best friend, without many friends. And I spent a lot of time by myself during those times. I still had friends, but I couldn't have a deep connection with anyone during that time. I had a boyfriend at the time. That was like my only friend really, and my family. And after that summer, I ended up going back to school. I didn't want to go back to school, but I knew that it was going to be my last year at that school. So year 10, at the end of year 10, I decided to leave that school. So it was going to be my last. I just had to get through one more year. And I went back to school and we fought so hard with my coordinators to change class, move me to not be in a class with her. I just couldn't do it anymore. And we fought so hard. It was the hardest thing to go through. My school was horrible. They did not take bullying seriously. They acted like it, but they didn't. They didn't really care. They didn't really care about me because I wasn't giving anything academically to the school. Like my school only cared about the really smart, intellectual, math, science, English people. I wasn't that person. And so they kind of just like brushed me under. But I ended up moving classes. And then when I moved classes, I think that's when I was able to go to school every day without feeling so much anxiety. I had so much anxiety. I can't explain. And so once I moved schools, and then one day, I don't know what came over me. I built the courage and I went up to her. And I basically said, I said something like, hey, like, can we talk? And she knew straight away. And she said, yeah, sure. So then I think we said that we would chat at lunchtime, and we did. But let me tell you, for the past 10 months, I had not spoken to this girl, messaged this girl. I hadn't even looked at her. If you asked me what she looked like, what color her hair was, what hairstyle she had, I couldn't tell you. When I tell you my head was down all that time, it was really, really hard for me to be in the same room as her. Like, she really, really broke me. She broke me really deeply. And it's because she was a person who knew me the best. Like, we were sisters. So for someone to hurt me, like, I never understood, and I still don't. Can never understand how someone can purposely hurt someone. Like, purposely. Like, an innocent person. There was nothing that I ever did to her. And I know this because when I pulled her for a conversation finally, I don't remember any other parts of the conversation. I don't remember how long it went for. I think it went for like the whole of recess or lunch or whatever it was. I think it went for that whole time. But I remember asking her, I go, why? Why did you do that to me? And the only thing I remember her saying is because she goes, because I was jealous of you. I thought, how can that come out of someone's mouth? But it did, because she knew. She had all of those months, all those friends that she lost, all of the hurt that she would have seen how hurt I was. And I think it took all that time for her to realize that's the reason why she did that. And I always knew she was jealous of me. Always, because she'd always make little comments. Have you ever had someone make comments to you like,
of course.
Oh, you know, yeah.
I think what you said before about not being academically inclined.
Yeah. She had that one up on me.
Yeah, but I was like that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I said on a podcast the other day, like I sometimes struggle to fit in with people.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know what it is thinking differently. I'm not sure.
Because we think in a different way.
Yeah.
Compared to, I don't know, more. I don't know. Not necessarily, because I have, like, for example, I have one really, really intellectual, academic girlfriend, and she's a really deep person. But I don't think she would have been a really deep person in high school. It's coming out of it and going through all the things that she's gone through. But I think for the most part, yeah, we think differently.
And I think the pain or the desire to do something different is somewhat motivated from all of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Which I think is important.
Yeah. And I think like in high school or just like always, I was always like, I was never following the crowd. Never. I was never one. Like, I remember all my friends started drinking around like, probably like, 15, 16. Never. I didn't care. I would like to have gone to like the parties that they were going to, and I went to the parties, but I wasn't drinking. I don't know. There was something about me. I was such a tough cookie in my mind. I was like, I am not being a sheep. I don't know like where that maturity came from. I really don't know, because my parents were never like super duper strict, but my parents like taught me, they kind of just like gently reiterated like, I don't know, the boundaries. And but at the end of the day, I made those decisions for myself. And then, I don't know, maybe that's what people noticed. I think I'm still like that. I'm actually like that like 100 times more now. I'm definitely not a sheep.
Yeah, when I stopped drinking, people were like, oh, come on, just have one beer. I stopped drinking like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and people are like so used to it now.
Yeah.
Because it's cool.
Yeah.
Heaps of people seem to be doing it now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you see that?
A lot of people do it now. Yeah. Like my circle has changed a lot since I stopped drinking. Because I don't like go out on a Saturday night. I like want to be in bed a bit earlier because I stopped drinking for a couple of reasons. But I stopped going out. Probably going out and like staying out late had more of an effect on me than the drinking actually did. Because I was never like a huge get blackout drunk. I never got blackout drunk, but like I'd get drunk.
Did you do that to fit in?
Nah.
Yeah, okay.
There's probably a part of me. Yeah. I think all of us have that part of us.
For sure.
But I had that because like I'm already like I like to think of myself as like a fun, bouncy person. And then when I would drink, that would come out of me even more. So like everyone loved it. Like I loved it, you know, I felt fun, I felt good. But it's funny because now like my friends who still drink a little bit, they will say like they won't get cut that I'm not drinking because they know that I will still be that person. I would just be a little extra silly with that, you know, silly juice in me.
You spoke before about thinking or being grateful, I guess, for what you went through. And I'm not sure if that's the reframe. It was like you going through the pain and it being a good thing. You spoke about that. Can you dive into more of that statement and what you actually meant there, like, and how it's motivated you to do what you do today?
Yeah. I think that with everything, I feel like I've been through 3 major life transforming things or personal development transformations. And after each one, I've seen myself change and I've seen like what comes out of them. And there is always like everything that happened has led me to where I am today, which is like 5 years ago, I would have thought, oh my gosh, she's so successful. Like, wow, like she's so cool. Amazing things have come out of every shitty thing that I've been through. And I believe that with everyone. That's not just my story. That's every person's story. Every shitty thing that you've been through, a greater outcome has come out of it. 100%. You know, you left that, you know, toxic relationship. Okay, now you're in a beautiful relationship and you've learnt your boundaries and you've learnt a lot from that last relationship. Or that old boss that you worked for who would overwork you and underpay you and, you know, treat you poorly but manipulate you. Now you're your own boss and you would never do that to your employees. I tell the girls that work for me all the time on the first call, this is what I have been through. This is the type of boss that I used to have. And I promise myself that when I run my own business, I'm not going to be that person. So if I didn't go through that shitty boss that I had, how would I be able to, I don't think that I would show up the way that I do for my business now. I wouldn't have learnt those things. I'm not saying I would have been a shitty boss, but now I know how it feels. I'm a very emotionally connected person. I'm a huge empath if you haven't realized by now. So if I didn't feel those things, if I didn't feel so deeply and have all of those tears and have all of that anger and resentment and anxiety and stress, then I wouldn't be able to move through my day and move through my business and move to my goals the way that I am now. There's just no way.
It's like the cameraman always survives analogy. It's like when you look back, when you see something online, you always know that the cameraman survives. But when you look back on your life, you're like, oh, I've survived that. And now look where I am now.
Literally, you just think that when you're going through, you know, such a deep depressive state, you really get into the point where I can't get through this. I can't get through this.
Yeah, and you always do.
And that's where all the tears come from. That's where all the anxiety comes from, because the fear of the unknown. But you think that you know, there's like nothing. There's nothing. And you always get through. So it's like now whenever a challenge arises, I'm like, I know I'm going to get through it though.
Yeah. I remember I had this 1 week last year that I had like 4 podcasts in 1 week, and I had a wedding that weekend that was not in Melbourne, and then I had a podcast after the wedding.
Yeah.
And it was, you know who it was?
I can already feel the stress.
Yeah. It was Chris Griffin. Chris Griffin, yeah. He was the one, yeah, he's episode 51, I think, and you commented on his stuff. So I had 4 podcasts in a week, and then I'm at this wedding, and I'm at the wedding literally listening to his podcast. because I had him the next day. Actually, it wasn't a wedding, it was a Bucks party. But I was like, everyone was like so drunk. And I'm like in the corner listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I can get through this,
Yeah.
I can literally get through anything because I am so tired right now. It was 3 hours away as well. So I had to drive, get up super early in the morning and just did not do anything else but study. And he thankfully said yes to 2 p.m. So it was like later in the day. So I got up at like 4 from this Bucks party and people were still partying. I just snuck out. But I was like, if I can get through this and feel good afterwards, then nothing will pale in comparison to this. And after getting through that, that's why I wasn't stressed the other day. When I got to the point where like, I don't have any podcasts. If this gets cancelled, I'm not going to have anything for Sunday. And then I'm like, it's okay. It's okay to feel like that.
Yeah, it's always going to be okay. Even if you think that nothing is going to be fine, your whole world is going to come crashing down, everything's going to be okay. And it's like, that's so easy to say. But once you actually go through a really hard time and then you come out of it, it could even be a minor difficulty. It doesn't even need to be a hardcore event. You go through a minor difficulty and then you come out of it, you're like, oh, okay, it's fine. Like everything's cool. I'm still here. You know what that says to me a lot about you is that it says a lot about your goals and your ambition and your dreams and drive, because whilst everyone around you was partying, you were the 1%er, weren't you?
Yeah, but then you're perceived as a there's actually a friend that he's definitely not a friend anymore. I haven't spoken to him since this happened, but he's attempted to reach out and he basically looked at me in the eyes and said, "You're pathetic for what you do."
Yeah, I know those types of people. Yeah, I know.
And then the next morning he apologized.
No, there's no apology.
Yeah.
No. Someone who says something like that, that says a lot about them as a person. An apology will never cut it. If you're able to speak to someone like that, those thoughts come into your mind.
When you're drunk. And use drunk as an excuse.
Oh, I don't care.
It's the worst, yeah.
But like, wow, how grateful are you that he said that to you?
Sure.
Because now you've gotten him out of your life.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been adding any benefit. Maybe a good time.
Is there something that comes to mind when I say that? You said, you know, those type of people.
Yeah, of course. Everyone knows the types of people.
Yeah.
If you're open to it, if your eyes are open to it, I made a really big shift in my life to stop saying that it's okay to people who really hurt me or people who, everyone makes mistakes and I accept people's mistakes, but I'll never say it's okay for hurting me the way that you did or for saying the certain thing or for doing the certain thing. Because if those words were able to come out of your mouth in the first place, then that says a lot about you as a person. Or if those actions were able to actually be done, it says a lot about you. And that's enough for me to know. It wasn't okay that you did that, but I accept that you made a mistake. But it doesn't mean that I need to hang around in your life. It doesn't mean that I need to accept it, say it's okay, and then continue having you around. It doesn't work like that. I am in full control. Every single person is in full control. You know, it's like when you're making a birthday list for your birthday, right? And then you're like, you know, I want to have this person. Oh, but I have to invite that person. No, you don't. You don't need to invite that person. Why don't you want to invite that person? Oh, because this is this. Okay, then why would you have them at your birthday then? You don't need to have those people in your circle. And that's really hard for me to say because I'm not a very big like confrontation person. I don't really like telling people that they've upset me. I really don't. I'm not the type of person to be like, you really upset me or you tell me, oh, I didn't like that. So I just sort of I sort of escape quietly.
Is that a bad thing? Because you bottle it up and you overthink?
I think it's a bad thing because you're not being truthful.
Yeah.
You're not able to move truthfully, and it's not particularly fair on that person if you kind of start ghosting.
Yeah, well, that's essentially what I did. with that guy.
I've done it to heaps of people, to be honest, especially after high school. So because I moved high schools at the end of year 10, I finished year 11 and 12 at a different high school. So when I moved, I like kept like a few friends connected. But then after like actual high school finished, after year 12, when everyone went to uni and I didn't, our paths just like completely changed. And I was like, well, you're not really my type of people anymore, are you? Like, we're not really on the same page.
My mum often asks me if I still chat with a lot of my schoolmates. I said, yeah, but I don't know what to speak about.
How many schoolmates do you have?
Yeah, I've got a few, but it's definitely, I don't know, you talk about that lonely thing, but you're like your lonely chapter, where you're establishing that new set of friends. Have you heard that analogy? The in-between spot where you're moving on for your new set of friends, your old set. And in saying that, the thing about the old friends or the friends that I have, it's like nothing's ever going to change. You're always going to go back to that same environment.
100%.
So it's like, can you get stuck there? And like I had a 30th on the weekend and I didn't. I said I had stuff on, but I didn't. I just didn't really want to go.
Hopefully
because
he's not watching this.
I don't think it will, but it's like what I want to do, just sit there and talk about how life is.
Yeah. And you're probably going to talk about it at surface level, or they're going to be like, how life is, and then you could be like, oh, like I've just quit my job and I'm doing this podcast. Yeah. What's their response going to be? Probably going to be, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Move on. Yeah.
So
I don't really want to talk like too much about like, because I get pretty deep into it straight away, like, and I don't want to like I meet people sometimes and I'm like halfway through the conversation, I'm like, I should probably shut up now.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying to you on the phone. Anymore. Remember when you were like, oh, but like then you say that you can talk deeply, but you're very particular about who you talk deeply with.
Yeah.
Like, because some people can't take it, or some people don't know how to respond, and we're just not on that same wavelength.
Of course.
It comes down to frequency at the end of the day. Like if we're not on the same frequency, like
it's so easy to tell.
You can so feel if you're on the same frequency as someone. Like I can really feel it within like probably 30 seconds. Probably not even sometimes. Sometimes within the first 10 seconds I can tell if we're on the same wavelength. Otherwise I'm just like, okay, like I'll just, be friendly and keep things very surface level, but you're not the type of person that I want to go get a coffee with. It's like do you ever have those people who are like, oh, like we should go get a coffee? And I'm like, why do you think that I'd want to spend that spare time with you? No offense, I'm not saying that you're a bad person, but how can you not sense that we're not on the same frequency? Like, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah. I'll do that with I normally just say I'll have a phone call.
Oh yeah,
because I get people.
I don't do that either. I'm like, my time is so valuable.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
it's funny. It's funny. The first day, because I used to talk to a lot of people because I like doing it.
Yeah.
But that was when I was getting paid from my real estate job. So I actually liked breaking up the day with a half an hour call with a random. You get it? Because I was in the office and I was like, this is cool. Some dad who's a barbecue enthusiast. Let's talk to him. But now it's like, do I really want to be doing that 4 or 5 times? I reckon in the first day, because I had a lot of people reach out from that post. I had so many calls and I'm like, holy shit, like this, I can't do this anymore. But you're selective, like you said.
I'm so selective.
Yeah. I had someone sent me a massive message yesterday, like that long. Talked about her journey and how she's struggling in finance and all that sort of stuff. I'm having a call with her because I could just tell there was something more to it.
Yeah.
Whereas like a dad that wants to know where to buy meat, I'm not going to have a chat with him anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'll just, whatever. I'll just palm him off or something. I'm not sure. But I still take the time. To people and a lot of people. And I think that with what I'm doing is good because it creates like a community, people comment on your posts and all that sort of stuff. So it helps.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm like online, I'm very like will give my time of day to sort of anyone. But in person I've changed a lot. Like I'm a very friendly person. I'll be friendly, I'll be kind because I believe that if like everyone needs to be kind to each other. I don't care what you're going through. Like kindness is the bare minimum. But in terms of further conversation, that's where I actually have sort of learned, I'd say this is only like a very recent thing, like maybe past 6 months. Yeah, probably past 6 months, is that I won't really give extra energy to like a stranger that I meet just because to have like a basic conversation with them. Because like whatever you allow into your life, that's what your vibrations are going to like come up against and feed off. So I'm very selective with like what I allow to come into my circle, because this is my bubble. Like I need to protect myself. I think that's very, very underestimated, of like protecting your bubble and your space and allowing certain people in, even if it is just like a stranger having like a quick chat. And I'll have a great quick chat about like the weather and conspiracies and all this sort of thing, and scare them off. But but in terms of like, as soon as a stranger, and I find Aussies do it a lot, as soon as a stranger starts complaining to me about something, I'm done. I'll tell them exactly what I think, and I'll probably just walk off. Because I'm not going to sit here and listen to you complain about shit that doesn't matter. And we have fallen into such a society where we complain about anything and everything. Why? Because we're so spoiled. We are so spoiled in like, I'm saying where we live. Sure. Just think of like Australia, for example.
I think anyone in Australia, for sure.
Yep. So spoiled.
Even at the lowest level.
100%. You have, yeah.
Yeah, we could talk for hours on that.
You have support, right?
Yeah.
And so you have, no, not you have. I don't think it's okay to complain about the little things. When you're complaining about the little things, or when you're complaining about big things that aren't actually that big and you're just making them a big thing, that is the reason why things are happening to you in your life, because you are feeding it. You are feeding all of these little, bumps in the road, all these things that are happening. And I reckon you'd probably know some people who are like, they're like, everything happens to me. Everything happens to me. Everything happens to you because you're feeding it.
The frequency.
It's the frequency. If you are blocking, if you're like, oh my God, like that person cut me off, like whatever. So I'd be like, babe, someone stuck their finger up at me the other day because I beeped a cyclist because he full on cut me off. And I beeped him because I was like, I could have run you over. I could have hit you if you actually just like stuck to the road rules. And he put the rear finger up at me. But I was like, but I knew for myself, I just giggled because I was like, I beeped you so you knew that I could have killed you. But they don't see it like that. They're just like, oh, this person is doing this. It's that sort of vibe.
I always look at road rage and angry people and people that are driving erratically. I'm like, imagine what they're thinking. Like their thought process.
Yeah.
Like they must be just on another planet.
Yeah. But I used to have road rage. I used to be that person.
Okay.
I've never been like...
When I say road rage, I mean cars that are weaving in and out of traffic. You know what I mean?
No, okay. Maybe not. I haven't been that bad of a person. No, definitely not. Yeah. But I would definitely let like little things like that like ruin my day. Oh, the most tiniest little thing that happened in my day, I'd let it ruin me.
I think that what goes back to what we were talking about before about the negatives. I think you get to a point if you go through enough that you're just like take a deep breath. Whatever happens will happen.
Yeah, because that shit doesn't matter. When you've actually been through shit that matters, then all the other little things you realize, they don't actually matter. For example, other people around me would be laughing, especially my boyfriend, because he just thought it was ridiculous how much I was crying about this, is that my business name, I have 2 businesses, but I have an event pet care business and It's now called Forever Lasting. It used to be called Pause and Promises. I thought this was the best name. The best name ever, because we help couples have their dogs at their weddings. Now we've expanded to other events. But it was perfect. Everyone loved the name. It was my brand. It was my identity. And it's a business that I've fallen so deeply in love with. And I've been running it under that name for 2 years. And I got an email one day from this lady in New South Wales who also does wedding day pet care, who said, hey, you're using my trademarks name. I give you 2 weeks. And I thought my whole world was crashing down. I thought I had lost my whole business. I thought I was so emotionally connected and attached to that name. And that's where I really struggled.
Was it
Pause and Promises.
Yeah, okay.
I loved it. And this woman waited 7 months. So when you go through a trademark process, you apply for it, you get accepted or not. If you get accepted, you don't actually have your fully trademarked name until about 7 months afterwards. So this lady emailed me and goes, just realized that you're using my name. But she emailed me 2 days after she got the 7-month acceptance. So she was waiting until she was official, and then emailed me.
Do I have to do that for my name?
You have to do it for your name.
Oh,
you probably won't be able to. You actually probably won't be able to trademark your name, but you might be able to trademark a logo or something.
Okay.
Look into it. That's a very deep thing.
There's only one. But you keep going. Yeah. Sorry.
And anywho, so I thought my whole world was crashing down. I thought I was going to lose my business and everything. When I say I cried, I bawled my eyes for like 2.5 weeks straight. I thought that I had to spend, how much money would I have had to spend? It was going to cost like over 10K or something if I was to get lawyers involved and keep my name. I was going to fight so hard to keep my name because I had it first. She hadn't been using the name. She had only transitioned to changing the name. But I'd been using it for 2 years. But I had nothing to stand on. And my lawyer was like, we can try. Don't know if it's going to work, but we can try. And then I realized.
It's you.
Yep. People like Nicole, you've built this business, you've built this brand. People come to your brand for you. Wherever you go, people are going to follow you. People are going to find you. It's not exactly the service. It's you behind it. It's your team behind it. So as soon as I changed the name, got so much love from everyone. So many, now I go to weddings and people I have like people who work in the industry and they're like, what's your name? And I'm like, Forever Lasting. They're like, I've seen you before. I was like, yeah, it was my other account. They're like, I've been trying to recommend you to people. We haven't even been able to find your account. So, there's things like that, but I've received so much love. And what's even more interesting is that happened in October last year. And in, I think, February or March this year, that woman shut down her business. Pause and Promises in New South Wales permanently closed. So I could be sitting here and being like, why me? Why did this happen? I went through all that stuff. I had spent a lot of money changing, rebranding and all the things and all the stress that I went through. Why? But now I'm like, happened for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. I still don't quite know the reason, but I'm not getting hung up on it.
Yeah.
So many people, we get hung up on things and we're like, why me? Why me? Once again, going back to that victim mindset. Why me? Why did that happen? All the stress that I went through. Like I already had so much stress going on in my business and everything that I was doing. When you're in a building phase of your business, you don't want extra bumps in the road and extra stress to come because you're already working so hard. But it's going to happen. And my business is thriving. It's getting better. That name change went nowhere. But the whole point of that is that specific moment, I look back and I just think, I laugh at myself. I have this 8-minute video of me bawling my eyes in my car, talking, expressing how I was feeling. Why did this bitch do this to me? Blah, blah, losing it. And I look at that video and I'm just like.
Will that ever come out?
Oh, I've actually posted little snippets of it. the whole video won't come out, no. But I'm thinking of, I will use it in content.
Good content.
Very good content. Very embarrassing.
We could do a reel with it.
Yeah. Very embarrassing. But like now I'm learning to be more so like those things don't matter. Like if something really big happens like that again, I will now know. I know that I'm gonna like handle that differently. I'm sure I'll still be upset. I think who spoke about this? I think Layla Hormozi spoke about this. She speaks about this sort of stuff really well. She said something like if something happens in her business and something really major happens and it's, you know, one of the hardest things that happens, she'll go, I'll be angry. She goes, don't get me wrong, I'll be angry in that moment. I'll be angry for an hour, for a day. But the next day I rock up to work and we fix it and everything's going to be okay. But for me, I let that come over me for like a month. That's not okay. You can't let things like that get to you. Did something like that actually matter? No. Nah, there's so many more things in life that truly, truly actually matter. You know.
I feel like it'd be worth reading with what you just said in mind, the posts that is the reason I guess you're sitting in this chair is because I saw it. I think you said, I feel like I have so much to say and share about starting my own business, the roadblocks in the beginning along the way, what I've learned and how my mindset has shifted, especially being someone who has never been the academic kid in school. Literally everyone doubted my ability to do well, apart from my family. A lot of people who go off and share their own similar story, which makes taking that step comforting, but it's also such a lonely place to be navigating something you have no idea about how to do it. I'd be keen to share more about it, but also feel like there's a lot on this app already. But if there's anyone who would want to hear more, let me know and I'll make a dedicated post about it.
I'm still yet to make a dedicated post.
Of course. What inspired you to write that? I think it's everything. I guess it's sort of an accumulation of everything we've been speaking about in this conversation.
No, honestly, when I do my job, when I bring a couple's dog to their wedding, I help their couple create the most beautiful memories with their dog. Or when I run my dog walking club and you see the smiles on everyone's faces, you see the dog's tails wagging, you see everyone saying, thank you so much for running this. Or when I service my clients during the week with dog walks and I, you know, help owners whilst they're at work, they know that their dog is getting cared for and, you know, getting that stimulation that they need during the day. I can't explain how happy that makes my heart, being able to help these people. And so when I actually am present in my job and I allow myself to be present, I allow myself to soak up and feel really proud of myself, that's when something like that comes out of it. Because I'm like, this is the reason why I'm doing it. Like it makes me, and that post that I posted, there was a mirror selfie that I posted with the dog. And I was just like, I have such a fucking cool job. Like, this is my job. Like, I was with a German Shepherd at a wedding and like I was dressed so nice. Like, not many people do that. And I've created that job. I didn't copy anyone. There's a lot of people in the industry who, there's not a lot of people, but there are people in the industry that do a similar job that I do. But I have never gone down a path because I was copying someone or following what someone else is doing. I was getting inspired 100%. I think it's great to get inspired by people. And so I guess starting my business, I've always been in like an entrepreneur sort of person. Like I've always been wanting to do my own thing. Like the first thing that I did running my own business was I started doing makeup from home. And I was getting booked, like, and that's where I started YouTube because I was like, okay, I'm gonna start a beauty channel. I was like, I'm gonna do this. So I started recording myself and doing that sort of stuff, and I just knew that I was gonna do something really cool. But I wasn't just gonna be a makeup artist working, you know, whatever it is, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's it. I pictured myself as being one of the best makeup artists, being on a live stage doing Kim Kardashian's makeup or something like that. I always had such a big drive no matter what I was doing. When I was playing soccer, I was like, I'm going to play college soccer. Like I wanted to go to the USA, do college soccer, that sort of thing. Like I've always been someone that was just strive for the bigger thing, not the average thing. And something that I speak about with people who are like in high school or about to go into uni or that sort of thing. And I'm like, you're like, do you know what you're going to like, what you want to do? And I'm always very cautious when I ask like younger people that question. I'm like, you know, I think certain people will ask the question like, what are you going to do? I will never ask that. Be like, what do you think you're going to do? Like, what do you feel like you want to do? And they'll be like, oh, like, I think I want to do this. And I'll be like, okay, I don't really understand courses. Like if you say to me like, I'm getting like a business degree, I'll be like, okay, what can you actually do out of that? Or I'm going to study nursing. Okay, what can you actually do out of that? And people.
Become a nurse.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. But you can actually become like a private nurse to Kim Kardashian. Like, it's not just I'm going to become a nurse and just work in a hospital. No matter what type of job, what type of like thing that you study, there is something so much greater than what you think there is. So when people, when people say to me, "Oh, how did you get into this?" I'm like, "Oh, it started way back. I did work experience in a doggy daycare center because I had to do work experience, and I was like, well." Like dogs are cool. I have no idea what I want to do after school. No idea. And the whole point of work experience was to do something where you thought that you were going to work in. That was in year 10. Year 10 I did work experience there. No, sorry, year 11 I think. Yeah, year 11 I did work experience there. And I did work experience in a doggy daycare and he was like, after 2 weeks, he was like, hey, I want to give you a job. And I was like, I'm in high school. Well, I can't. This place is open Monday to Friday. How am I supposed to work here? But that was at the end of that year. And then the year after, in year 12, I had every Wednesday off. So I worked there every single Wednesday and then every other day that I had free, if I had any like free days off. So I started working in that way. And then once I was doing the job to just what meets the eye, someone who's just caring for dogs, I then was like, this is when I was 19. I was like, I think I actually like want to study this. I actually I'm really interested in dogs. And so there was no pressure that I put on myself. There was nothing of that. It was just what came to me, how I felt. I've always moved with the way that I feel. I haven't been the type of person who will be like, you know, by next year I need to do this. And then in 3 years time I need to do this. And next month I need to do this. And nowadays I'm a bit more like that because I'm like, okay, it's helping me like grow as a business owner. But when I was younger, never like that. I just sort of went with the flow. My parents were like the most supportive people about that. They were scared. I could tell my dad was worried. She's not going to uni. What's she gonna do with herself? She's just working with dogs. He loved what I did, but I know that he was concerned. And yeah, so then I started studying, and then I moved away from that place that actually ended up being quite a crappy place to work at.
I saw a post about that, yeah.
Yeah. And then I moved to another doggy daycare, which ended up being another crappy place to work at, but I worked for an amazing mentor. Not so much a good person, but he was a great mentor in the job, what I wanted to do. And so I just got so much exposure. And I think that when you're trying to find what you want to do, you need to get exposure. You just need to be exposed. You just need to try. If you don't try, you don't know. You got to try before you buy. Like I was not prepared to spend, you know, all this money on a HECS debt that I wasn't quite sure if I was going to use it. And I know a lot of people do that. Did you go to uni?
Yeah, I just paid it off. Literally. But I was lucky because I did real estate. So real estate had commission and big chunky payments going there, but just paid it off, which is cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So so then I was working for other people and I was understanding the industry and I was understanding myself in the industry and I started finding my feet. And then I thought that I wanted to become a dog trainer. I was like, this is really cool. I studied my dog training course. I was like, yep, like I want to do this. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to make all this money. I could have been charging, $200 per consultation, done 3 consults a day. I don't know. You do the maths. I could be making some pretty good money. And when I was working in the second place that I worked at for a good maybe year and a half, things were really, really going downhill with working there. Like being overworked, being very manipulated into the way that we were caring for dogs. It actually wasn't okay. Some of the things that we were doing, that we were taught to do, wasn't ethically okay. And just amongst everything of how I was being treated, how the staff were being treated, not being recognized, not being paid properly, that sort of thing, and what we were actually doing with the dogs, I was like, this doesn't sit right with me. But I was so scared to leave that place because even though it was ending up being a very, very, very toxic environment, I was probably sinking to it close to a depression when I was there because it was a lot. Whatever I bring to the table, I always do things with my whole fucking heart. I do it with my all. So when I was working for someone else, it's like I was running my own business. I was always staying up late, helping him, doing things, working overtime, never expecting extra pay, even though I should have been getting paid, but I wasn't expecting it. So I was like, I love this. I love this business. And so he ended up being an amazing mentor, and I learned almost everything that I know from him. And I'll say that, even though I don't really like him as a person, I appreciate everything that he taught me and everything that I learned. So grateful for everything. So I was so scared to leave that place because he taught me everything. Yeah, I got my dog training qualification. I got my certificate. I barely learned anything. Like, really? That was so outdated. And I think a lot of courses are outdated these days. So working for that, I was so connected to this person because I was like, I'm going to lose everything. I felt like I had everything to lose. And so, you know how you said before, you said earlier about on the podcast you were too scared to, you know, talk about how you actually felt about leaving your real estate job. I started my Instagram account, my business Instagram account, because I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing this. But I was still working at that place, so I didn't tell anyone. And then I think one of them found it and they told my boss, and my boss never said anything to me, but he knew. And he sort of brought it up once. And I was like, yeah, like that's like my, like I'm going to start doing like pet sitting from there. And you could just tell he knew that something was going on because we started being very distant. And then I made the decision to just be like, I need to get another job. So I went and got the most crappiest job that you could get. I was doing picking in a warehouse. And it was the worst. It was the worst job. Not the worst, but I had 4 a.m. starts. What 20-year-old girl is starting work at 4 a.m. in tradie boots and a tradie jumper and stuff? I was
pretty close, but I'm not a girl.
You're not a girl.
Yeah.
It's not really a female job.
Yeah, of course.
And then that was I was already at such like a stressed, anxious, sort of depressed state. And then I started working there and I was like, oh, this is really hard. But I did it because I was like, I need to get out of the place that I was working. I ended up working 14 to 16 hour days because I was working at that place or 6 a.m. till about 12 or 2 p.m. Then I was going to the doggy daycare working 2:30 to 8:30. So I was working hectic hours. But that's because I had to work at this place for 6 weeks in order to like actually get the job to continue. So I worked that 16-hour days for 6 weeks. As soon as I finished that 6 weeks, I quit. But it was the hardest thing I have ever had to do in my life. I think quitting there was close to being as difficult as leaving my last relationship. One of the hardest things that you can do is actually leaving. And you know the feeling. It's the hardest thing that you can do. But once you actually leave, your whole world turns around. It's just like that saying, once one door closes, another door opens. And it couldn't be more true.
I think that mindset of having the all-in mindset on everything you do is so powerful.
Yeah.
Because you quickly figure out what you do and don't like.
Yeah.
And like I've done that with everything in my life. And what you perceive as a mistake or something that you would potentially look back on and say is something you shouldn't have done ends up being the thing that got you to where you are now.
Exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. So leaving that job was the hardest thing, but best thing, because I was able to, once I left there, that's when I actually was able to grow my confidence in myself as a dog handler. I wasn't leaning on someone all the time. If I had a question, I couldn't ask him anymore. Those ties were cut. I couldn't ask him anymore. So then it was up to me to build myself up in my career. And so I ended up only lasting at that other place for 5 months. I couldn't last there very long. And then I quit there and I had 2 days and I was like, oh my God. Luckily I live at home with my parents. Otherwise I don't know how I would be paying rent or for my food or anything like that. And then so I saw someone at the gym, the hair salon that I was going to, and I saw the owner. We were pretty close. Like whenever we'd see each other, we'd say hello and have a good chat and whatnot. And so I saw him at the gym and he goes, oh, how's it going? I go, actually, I just quit my job. And I was like, I need a job. And he was like, do you want to come work for me? And I was like, okay. I started working in a hair salon. So never, ever, ever did I think that I would work at that picking job, that I would leave that doggy daycare job, the best mentor that I could have had. And did I think I would work in a hair salon? Okay. She wanted to be a dog handler, not a hairdresser. And so working in that hair salon was one of the greatest gifts that I've ever been given to start my business and career. And the owner of that hair salon knows how grateful I am for the opportunity, because he allowed me to start building my business whilst having another stream of income. And that's very, very hard to do. It's a very hard position to be in. But this is why it is so, so, so important to just have trust, to just have faith, because you never know, and stop being in control, because you never know what's gonna come your way. It was the best thing. Who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought? And so once I started working there and I started building it up enough, I think I worked there for about 1.5 years, and I actually started really building my business. My boss at the hair salon at the time, he goes, this was not last October, the October before, October 2023. He goes, Nicole, I think it's time to let your wings fly. Those were his words. I said, okay. And so I was left with just Buddy and me. I don't know if I was doing Pause and Promises at the time. And that's when everything flourished. I'm telling you, that week, I've never received so many emails and inquiries in my life. Oh, yeah, I have since now. I have, because obviously marketing helps with that. But up until that point, like, you would never have thought that once I drop everything, like once you feel like you've dropped everything, you're so scared. You're in your most vulnerable state. You're so fearful. You have no idea what's going to come. But once you allow room for more things to come, it just flows. And if you are where you're meant to be, and if you're on the right path of where you're meant to be going, things are just going to flow for you. And so then when you get roadblocks, or when you get things that happen, either it's diverting you because, hey, like maybe not that path because something might happen around that path. It's the burnt toast theory. That's my favorite theory in the whole entire world. And I feel like that's probably one of the main core things that have helped my mindset to this day. As soon as I listened, it's like on TikTok, as soon as I listened to what she explained about the burnt toast, I was like, yeah, that changed everything for me.
What is that?
It's when, oh my God, I hope I'm going to be able to explain this properly. Is that I think it's something like you put bread in the toaster and I think you forget that the bread is in the toaster. So then the bread burns. And you're like, shit, I need to you put new bread in the toaster. So you've cut that time because your toast fucked up. So you put the bread back in the toaster, you get good bread. So then you get good toast. Sorry, not bread, toast. But that cut, like whatever that was, that 3 extra minutes out of your day. But that 3 extra minutes, you could have been saved from what maybe could have been a car crash.
Think about that stuff all the time.
All the time. So now when I drive, if I miss my turn, if I miss my exit, you won't see me get angry no matter how late I am. Because I'm like, thank you, God, for protecting me. Thank you, whoever it is. That's why it's so important to have trust. You have to. It's something that I have have a really good conversation with one of our friends about this. So you have to have faith. I don't care what you have faith in. It could be anything. You have to have faith in something that is directing you and protecting you.
I think this is time to read out what you said, a quote the other day. Sometimes people will look at your life, your patience and your positivity and assume you've had it easy. They haven't seen the countless times you've resurrected yourself when feeling dead inside, or how close you've come to giving up. They aren't aware of the discomfort confronting your demons and fears.
Yeah, that post makes me want to cry.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because people just see what they want to see, and it comes back to that thing where like, oh, you're so lucky, or like, you're doing so well. And I'm like, thank you that you think I'm doing so well. I am doing so well. I need to stop being so hard on myself, but it hasn't come easy at all. I don't think anyone really has it that easy.
Anyone
Everyone
that's
has challenges.
taking a different path, I don't think anyone has taken a path less travelled and gone through some form of difficulty that has made them the person that they are, that makes it hard to accept things like what you just said before about you're so lucky. And you're going, well, I get that all the time.
Yeah.
It almost reaffirms. I said it in the, I don't want to repeat myself, but it almost reaffirms the bad side, or reaffirms how you're thinking about it, because I'm at the point now where I obviously get a lot of compliments about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
same.
But I'm nowhere near where I want to be.
I say it all the time. I'm like, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But you, a few months ago, you're exactly where you wanted to be. You know, quit your job, going all in wholeheartedly. That was the first conversation that we had with each other.
Yeah, it was meant to be, I think.
Yeah.
Lots to digest there. I think so many people, I don't know whether people would even connect with what we've spoken about today. I'm not even sure, because what you said before about opening and letting people in and connecting straight away over something, there are a lot of people that don't think like we do.
There's a lot of people that do though.
For sure.
There are.
Yeah.
And that's where my circle has really changed. And I believe that whoever you have surrounded by you makes you up as a person, for sure. And it makes you react the way that you do to things and live your lifestyle a certain way. And so by me changing, you know, or just like I've been adding people into my life who have the same mindset and
for sure.
You know, have similar goals and drives. It's made a world of a difference to my week. You know, instead of messaging someone about my problems or, you know, about my problems, instead of them being like, oh yeah, like fuck that, like that's so hard and I'd be so pissed off if I was you. Instead, they're like, Nicole, everything's going to be fine. This is what you're going to do. You're going to go tomorrow morning. You're going to time block your day and you're going to make sure you get 8 hours sleep. And you're going to make sure you eat properly. You know, like I'm surrounding myself with different types of people. And that's like one of the best things I've ever done, changing the people around you. And it's very hard to do. It's very easy to say it, but you're not able to change people around you unless you change first, because it all comes down to frequency and vibrations at the end of the day. If you're here, how do you expect to get along with someone who's up here?
For sure.
You have to match them. It's like that saying, it's like that quote, it says something like, you need to live, start acting, like start living your day. Yeah, as if, what's it saying?
Yeah, it's like you go to, you go to Crown and stay in the best resort possible just for one night. So you get used to living in that lifestyle, even though it's not your life, but you just get used to it. It's almost like what I do with or how I perceive, you know, so I sometimes have guests that I look at and I'm laughing because I don't want to think that I don't, you know, feel the same way sitting next to you. But like there are some people that I've looked up to like my whole life.
Yeah.
And I look at them and I'm like, wow, you're sitting right here.
Yeah.
But I can't show that I feel their presence, because then imagine if I like pulled my phone out straight away and got a selfie and
correct.
That means you're here and they're here. You're not equal. So when Archie Thompson walked in the other day, the soccer player, and he was sitting in the chair you were sitting, when he walked in there, and I'm like, I've seen this kid, you know, when I was 10 watching the World Cup, just like any other bloke, you know.
100%.
I think that's a powerful place to be.
Yeah, for sure. You're putting that trust in yourself. That is you respecting yourself. That is you being like, I deserve this. Even if maybe you don't say it to yourself, but you acting on that level is like, I respect myself so much and I deserve this so much. Because it's who you are now. It's who you've changed to be. That's why I was saying to you before, you know, when people say, oh, but don't change. You have to change to move forward and grow. If you don't change, you're not going to grow into the person that you want to be.
I think what they mean by that is like change who you are fundamentally as a person.
Definitely.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
I fully agree with that.
Yeah, no. You can't change who you are down to a core just to please the world around you. No way. I think too much of us do that. Social media has been a big one for that.
Where do you want to be at my age?
Your age? I feel like we're the same age.
29.
29.
5 years.
I want to have my own house on the water. I want to...
Dream big.
Oh, you know what I say all the time to my boyfriend? I'm like, I just want an island bench. I just want a massive island bench.
Yeah.
Like, those are like my little dreams. I want to be married. I want to have traveled so much more of the world. And I want my partner and I to be running our businesses like fucking boss bitches. Oh, sorry to call him a bitch, but
yeah.
And
I can see why you like Layla Hormozy.
But being able to live our day-to-day life, being so like at peace. Like I want to wake up and be so calm and, you know, go for a walk and go for a dip in the ocean and come back and, you know, maybe go to the gym and eat my Whole Foods and go organic grocery shopping and not have to worry about a thing, like as in not have to financially worry about being able to afford all my groceries. And I want to be able to decide how I'm going to spend my day whilst putting time aside to run my businesses like a boss bitch, but having other people who are better than me at certain jobs to be able to run my businesses for me.
Let's check in 5 years then.
Yeah, let's check
in. Put in the date. What's the date today? We still haven't figured out the date.
I don't know what the date. Oh, the 30th of June.
30th of June, yeah. That's it.
No, I'll definitely be there, 100%.
Yeah.
This is like definitely less than, how far away is that?
5 years. Are you 24?
Yeah.
29. Yeah, that's what I said, 5 years.
25.
So, yeah, basically around my age.
I'll 100% be there.
Yeah.
For sure. My boyfriend will probably think, I don't know about married, but yeah.
With our honeymoon where was it, in Italy? I remember watching your vlog. You said you're going to have a honeymoon.
Oh my God, yeah, in Taormina.
I don't know how
in Sicily.
I just remembered it then. I don't know. Those videos are actually good. I was like, may as well watch them before. You can learn so much about that sort of people by doing that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Like what people...
thinking at some...
Yeah. And what people are like attracted to and really value. Like back then I was a little bit different to what I do now, but I still like valued like just like beauty of just like nature in the world.
Oh, you probably wouldn't be sitting here if you were the same person. And that's, you know, I did a podcast, you know, I used to work so far in advance. Like when I did Chris Griffin, I think I was like 20 weeks ahead. So I had filmed 20 in advance. And I was like, my last podcast guest, and it was an ego thing, purely and utterly 100% ego. I was like, how many can I do in a year? So my last podcast guest is the 27th of December, and his didn't get launched till late April. You know, and I was like, I've changed so much since then. Like I have stopped doing that. So I didn't film any for 5 months.
Yeah, that's a really long time.
Yeah. Thankfully I'm not that far ahead. I think mid-July, I think this will be out. So, but yeah, what I'm saying is that what you said before is like things, not even when you're 18, like they can change in like 3 months. You know?
100%.
Like,
I feel like I've changed a lot already just this year. since January to now.
What's the main thing that's changed?
My commitment to my health. The commitment to my health has been like anything than before. Like I said it earlier downstairs when I've been like on a real sort of holistic health journey for like 10 years, like ever since I was in high school, but I haven't dived so deeply compared to what I have probably within the last 3 years, but particularly the last 6 months. I've just really, I think once you make such a commitment to your temple, there's no other commitment like it. Maybe like a kid, but how are you supposed to provide for your kid without knowing how to provide for yourself and giving your temple everything that it needs to work and move and go through your life? Like, there was a quote recently that said something about how it's like the designer bags and the cars and the things that you buy won't be there forever, won't last forever, but your body will if you allow it to. So invest in your body, not in the things that aren't going to be there forever. I mean, the handbag might be there forever, but is it actually like giving anything to your life? No.
It's like that reframe with people before as well. Like you said, you're mindful of who you let in.
Yeah.
Don't invest your time with people who aren't going to be there.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It looked good.
Yeah. This is a first for the show. I just checked my iPad then. And
you want to take a selfie?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I sometimes, as you might have seen, asked people to give a voice memo. And yeah, Lydia, during this conversation, has sent one. So we might have to bleep this bit out if it's no good, but let's play it. How long is it?
Nicole, I hope the podcast is going well. Darcy called me the other day to chat and he wanted to get a better understanding of our relationship and how you are as a person. And it was honestly so fun because it was like I just got to boast about how amazing you are. And then it made me reflect and realize I'm just so blessed to have you in my life and call you my best friend, because a lot of people in their lifetime don't get a 1 in a million best friend or someone that's there 24/7 and someone that's kind and caring and understanding and not judgmental. And, you know, I'll go to your house crying or just feeling so down, and sometimes you don't even need to speak. You just give me a hug and sit there and listen and nod your head, and it's just the presence that you have and the energy and the vibes. It's just like indescribable. And I'm just so proud of everything that you've achieved, not only business-wise, but you as a person and obstacles you've overcome. Like, it's inspirational, and everyone around is inspired by you and look up to you and can appreciate all your hard work, because honestly, I don't think I know anyone that works harder than you. Like, it's crazy, amazing. Darcy actually asked me, what's a memory that stands out for you? And I paused and I was like, that's a great question, because no memory stands out for me. There's not one memory that's like, oh yeah. It's because we have so many memories and everything is just so fun and we're laughing all the time and we're having the best time ever. And yeah, it got me emotional, to be honest. I'm just so grateful for you and everything that you do for me. And I love you so much, and I'll see you soon.
I knew that was going to start making me cry.
Why?
We have just such a authentic relationship. Like there's just no pressure whatsoever. And we've been through a lot together. Yeah, we have a very special relationship. Like I don't have a relationship with anyone else like her. And it's so true when she says there's nothing that stands out, because I can say the exact same thing, because it's just like, it's just the way that we show up for each other, I think, is what's so special about our friendship. Like any time that each of us need each other, like we're there. Or if we can't be there, we understand. But then we're there like the next day or whenever it is, or whenever we can. I think just having someone who truly like takes the time to understand you deeply, or like asks you questions and takes time to like understand your family and be around your favorite people as well, and hypes you up and tells you that they're proud of you. It's so special. Like you need those people in your life. And if you don't have those people in your life, you got to find someone. It's so special. I think that we can only do so much for ourselves in terms of like being there for ourselves. You know how some people say like hide for 6 months and just head down, arse up. But I think for females especially, you can't do that. Like, I'm not saying that you can't, but it's too hard for us, especially as females. I feel like a male probably could. But even though you need that support around you, you need those people to lift you up. And she's always lifting me up. But she'll tell me straight up too exactly what she thinks, if it's not a good idea, or maybe you should try it like this, or why don't you try this? Like she's always just so willing to help and give, rather than those people that are like, oh, fuck that, or that's annoying, or blah, blah. No, it's always like, how can we fix this? How can we do it? We're always like ready. You want to go get matcha? Let's go. It's no waiting around for anything. Have I got tear marks?
No, you can't say anything.
Okay.
I'm not going to zoom in that much. Is there anything we haven't spoken about today that you want to end on?
I think my biggest thing is that everyone deserves to be so truly happy, and everyone has that peace inside of them, every single person. But you need to allow that to come into your life, and you need to make that room for those things to come into your life. And so I guess that if you're wanting to make a change, if you're wanting for something, but you're like, I don't know if I can get there, or I don't know how it's going to go, or what are people going to think, or how am I going to pay my bills, or whatever it is, it'll all be okay. You'll figure it out. You just need to put in the effort and make the first step. All that it takes is the first step to make. If you don't make that first step, how are you supposed to know? How are you supposed to know?
I had a quote here I was going to read out at the end, but I think that's good enough, to be honest. I don't think we need another quote. It's sort of what we've spoken about today anyway. So.
Yeah, I feel like there's so much that we could just talk about.
Well, it's been an hour and 50 minutes.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I could talk all day long.
Really? Might have to do another one.
Yeah, when I'm successful.
10 years? No, I'm joking. joking.
Hopefully when I come back, I'll be living more of my dream.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Because what we said before about how you pay your bills and stuff, like I'm figuring that out. And it's funny because I've walked away from like a really good paying job. No, really good paying job.
Yeah. Absolutely. But this
my team just sold a property that I was working on for $250 million. Yeah. And I was speaking to the vendor at the start. So like, Yeah, that's what I walked away from. But it's fine.
This is going to make you
So much happier.
so much happier.
Yeah.
And that 250 million. So we need to be
We sold
happy.
a property.
Yeah, but
It wasn't my money. Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah, I wish.
But you will get that 250 million
Yeah,
anyways.
Yeah. In happiness. In happiness. Maybe not 250, but I would rather I think the thing was what I was doing. It was like, it just didn't, there wasn't that you did it once and then you moved on. You know what I mean? There wasn't the ability to get better each year. There was, but that only came in the form of just making more money. It wasn't like you were growing as a person. And that's why I think going out and starting your own thing, like I've seen a lot of people do it recently and there's nothing better. And to do it in a way that you've sort of touched on today, it's just purely doing what you love.
Mm.
And an even bigger thanks to everyone who didn't believe in me that my job could make me an income, because I literally get paid to do this whilst those people are probably still working a boring job that they hate.
Yeah, and that was very
poetic
nicely.
from me.
That was put very nicely as well.
Yeah.
Like I said that in the nicest way possible.
Yeah, of
but
course.
like there's so many people who just doubts you. The amount of people who are like, oh, you work with dogs. Oh, like how's that going to make you money?
Yeah, of
You
course.
know, a lot of people watch me.
Yeah, exactly.
Just fucking watch me. But then now they see and they're like, now they're getting around me.
Mm.
People only get around you when
When
you're
they see
successful.
success. Yeah, of course.
Mm.
Yeah.
So the people who are around you whilst you're trying to make it, they're the most
the ones.
important people.
Yeah, I've had some people. I remember this one guy messaged me, hadn't spoken to him for years. He said, when are we having a steak together?
Yeah, no.
And I was like, come on, man. And then when I saw him at an event, he's like, oh, you didn't respond to my message. I was like, what message? But I'd seen it.
It's a slap in the face.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I wonder if any of my high school teachers like see anything that I'm doing, because they definitely perceive me as one of the dumber kids in school.
No, yeah. That's another potty. Honestly, that's another potty in itself.
No, that really is.
Yeah, because I had that
is.
as well. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Big time.
Cool.
Thanks for your time today. Been a pleasure.
Thank you.
So good.
So fucking good.
Hmm?
So good.
Really?
Usually I say so fluffing good, but
Yeah.
this isn't talking about dogs. So
Yeah, of course.
It's so
yeah.
fucking good.
I guess it's what I've been. Yeah. No, it was really good.
so good.
Feels good?
Yeah.
Yeah.